What's good, guys? Good morning, Muhammad. Good morning, Edward. Just quickly gonna go over SPX. Let's just go over the daily chart. I'll remove the gamma levels, and we'll just share my thoughts. So on the daily, we had a nice little breakout, right? We had a nice little consolidation breakout to the top side here, 3 days, and then obviously toppy candle in 4,000 act as a very big resistance. And one thing we can see, every time a big leg took place, right? There was a little high made and then it took down, right? They tried to bring it back up, it made it down. Here, the question is, can this be part of like this, something like this, right? If this is part of something like this right here on this area, this zone right here, and then next time they took it even more up, trapped people, and then brought it lower. If the same thing happens here, they're probably going to take this higher towards this zone and then maybe bring it back lower again. But does that have to keep it repeating? No. But for now, one thing I can tell you guys through the positioning wise, that 3900 today is extremely large. 3900 is huge today, right? And we'll know towards the end of the day which way this wants to go in. How do we know, right? Delta sensitiveness. Let's just say sensitive delta, right? When is delta going to be the most sensitive? Towards 4 p.m. So every longer we go towards 4, that's when delta gets more sensitive if we're around these levels. And if one side has to take place, it will take place. All right. Especially, let's say, for example, if it's a huge, this is just an example, if we have huge call side on 3900 checks, right, for example, and then towards the end of the day, a market wants to go up. If it trades at 3910 towards expiry, that delta is going to start increasing, obviously, right, towards expiry, and it's eventually going to hit 1, and then dealers will have to buy it as it's going up, and then puts will be monetized, and then it can go up, right? And the same thing to the downside. Okay, but for today, 3900 is huge. Into next week, the question is, what happens next week? This week we do, even today we do have some call side as well towards 4,000. Today we do have some call side outflows. We do have a lot of positive gamma on individual names, right? The sentiment today seems like people are expecting a huge rip in the market. That's what I feel like, right? But if that flow comes off on OPEX, flows usually come off, right? The market does not move in the direction of flows on OPEX most of the times. That's my experience. I usually see it go opposite, and this time there is a good amount of positive gamma. If that flow comes off, we're gonna take a dump in the markets. All right, and I'd keep an eye on some individual names that had a lot of positive gamma. But if that flow stays, then obviously the individual names can go up. All right, but for here, let's just go over the monthly chart on SPX quickly on a longer term view. Not much. It's just stuck in a consolidation phase. It's just stuck in this consolidation phase. What happens here, guys? See me, I'm more of a, on this monthly chart, technicals are great, but just fundamentally, right? Technically, we are supportive right here. Technically, it's supportive on the monthly, but fundamentally for me, it's bearish for the coming months, right? I am of a view that in the coming months, I don't know when it happens, that we're gonna come and test these lows, right? We're gonna come and test this strong support zone. I think it's gonna happen. I don't know when it happens, but that's just my own view. Again, let's see what happens here. But for now, 4,000 is a huge level. Let's see what happens on the monthly. If we zoom out, this actually has quite a bit to go. This has a long way to go to come and test this support. This can happen in 2023, 2024, maybe in 2025. All right, sometime when the market goes sideways, it goes sideways for a long time. Okay, so we'll see. And then let's just look at the bonds quickly on the daily time frame. UB bonds have been moving slightly a little different than the market. Recently it's been holding well, but let's see if the bonds obviously get weaker, then obviously that's bad for the markets. But let's see when the bond market finally the money starts going to bonds, and we'll see if a new cycle takes place, right? For now, just holding, not much. Let's look at the rates. US 10-year rates, I think they've been just holding, and a nice little support test. And obviously, as we all know, if these rates do resume an uptrend from here, that obviously puts pressure to the sell side on the markets, right? With high interest rates, obviously on US 10-year, the market usually reacts negatively, especially tech. So let's see if we hold this 350 level and start going up. Dollar's been similar chart, just consolidating here. For me, there's one number that matters on dollar when the real panic starts, which is 109 DXY level, right? Above 109 DXY, if that ever happens in the coming months, that's when the real panic is gonna hit the markets, right? I've been saying this for the last 2-3 months, but obviously we come down, and dollar right here, we are at a very strong support. This is a measurement tool, by the way. I don't really use these levels, but you know, technically maybe sometimes, but we are at a strong support zone here. Let's see if we can reverse back up the dollar from these levels. Google absolutely nailed it. LB, nice call, nice play. Pre-market is up towards 96 bucks, towards 96. But on Google, there are some levels to keep in mind. Above 93.50, it was nothing but muscle, and we saw that gap. The question is, what happens at the 97 level? 97, 98, that's huge resistance. Above 98, it has 100 and even 110. All right, but 97, 98 will not be easy on Google. This zone will not be easy. So manage your profits. Great call. Fire play. IWM the other day, we nailed it. It was just too clear on the gamma. 189 was huge, but a massive move took place. It's similar to SPX. Let's see what happens here. Can't say much. The same thing as SPX, right? I mean, is this a healthy dip, or do we dump lower, right? And towards the end of the day, there will be good plays. But me, I'm gonna try taking some plays in the morning today. I'll see if I can catch a few. And Amazon above $91. This name right here. I think Guri was the one who caught it. I had my positions, guy. I had equity, so I couldn't add. Many times I mentioned Amazon in the chat that above 91, this thing is gonna go. Above 91, this thing is gonna go. That's just how the option position was. As soon as we got above 91, we had a nice little $10 move, and all those messages in Discord. So pay attention sometimes if I do give gamma levels like that. And I did add Amazon equities here, so I was already in the position if it was gonna keep on going up. Mine is a long term. It's not a trade, so I don't really care about this move, right? In fact, I'm gonna add more if it comes lower towards 70. All right, the equity only, not options. But here, let's see, for Amazon, 95 is a must hold. 95 is a must hold on Amazon if it wants more. Otherwise, risk of 70s remain in the coming months. All right, Tesla, I will be adding a short swing position on it soon, but I'm hoping that maybe I can get towards this zone right here. If this 150, 155 zone happens by any chance, I will be taking swing shorts for the new low of the year sometime later on. That's just my own bias, and I think it's going to happen. And if you look at the monthly, this has a long way to go still. It hasn't even started, right? It hasn't even started. On the monthly, it needs to, it can come all the way towards 35, 30 bucks. You guys call me crazy, right? But it's a possibility. But I'm going to start adding around 70 bucks if it comes. Otherwise, I'll miss it. Euro USD currency pair. Been strong on the monthly coming up. But now, here is when I guess, do we turn the clocks here now? For the last few months, it's been strong. The question is, do we roll over in the coming months, right? That will be something to see, all right? USD APY. On the monthly, making a nice little reversal candle. The question is, do we resume up eventually, right? If these scenarios take place, then the markets are likely going to come down, especially on the American side, okay? And join me on voice chat. I'm going to give you guys all the gamma updates. I'm going to be watching live flows today. Let's see what we have. And